Basic ecology, the ecosystem in adventure. A multimedia in basic ecology. Unit 1, Ecosystem. This unit is about one area of biology that has regained much attention lately, the ecosystem. The extraordinary attention has given because of the worsening condition of the environment brought about by people's activities that are possibly fueled by two very strong influences. First, an imbalance between population size, that is the demand, and the available resources and service, that is the supply. Second, a materialistic concept of economic development which focuses acquired and neglects the quality of life. Chapter 1. What maintains balances in an ecosystem? Module 1, Basic Concepts of an Ecosystem. An ecosystem is an ecological unit that includes all the interacting parts of an environment in an area. It contains the abiotic and biotic components through which nutrients are cycled and energy flows. Examples of ecosystem. Natural ecosystems. River. Coral reef. Mountains. Desert. Plains. Forest. Meadow. Pond. Man-made ecosystem. Artificial island. Garden. Farm. Aquarium. Basic components of an ecosystem. Abiotic or physical factors. Terrain. Sea. Plains. Biotic or living things composed of producers. Consumers. Decomposers. Lesson 1. Levels of biological organization. Living things are organisms. The examples most familiar to are plants and animals. A group of organisms of the same kind living in a particular area at a given time is called population. All the different kinds of organisms that are interacting with one another in a given area constitutes a biotic community. The biotic components of a grassland ecosystem are the living organisms that exist in the ecosystem. Those that manufacture food are called producers. They are mostly plants. Those that cannot manufacture their own food and therefore eat other organisms are called consumers. Animals and fungi belong to this group. And the final consumers that decompose organic matter are called decomposers. They are mostly microbes, bacteria and fungi, and few bigger organisms. These different roles performed by the members of a biotic community are referred to as their ecological niches. The members of a biotic community also interact with their environment. This brings us to another level of biological organization of the ecosystem. Organisms live in different types of environment, habitat. Some, like fish and water hyacinth, live in water. We say they are aquatic. Others, like carabao and bamboo, live on land. We say they are terrestrial. Some, like most birds and orchids, live on trees. We say they are arboreal. The type of environment in which an organism lives is referred to as habitat. For an organism to survive in its habitat, it must be able to A. Tolerate the environment condition in that place. B. Protect itself from or compete efficiently with other organisms that can also tolerate the environmental conditions in that place. The biosphere. Atmosphere, lithosphere, and hydrosphere. A fourth region called biosphere is formed by the merging of ecosystems all over the surface of the Earth. The biosphere is like a very thin envelope surrounding the Earth at the bottom of the atmosphere. Most living things are found within the space extending upward to the canopy of the tallest trees and downward to a depth of about 70 meters of lighted water. In other words, the biosphere includes the surface of the lithosphere, body of water, and the ocean floor where living organisms exist. Lesson 2. Biotic components of an ecosystem. Another way of grouping organisms is to distinguish between those that can make their own food, the autotrophs, and those that cannot, the heterotrophs. Those that manufacture their own food are said to be autotrophic. The terms autotroph and autotrophic came from the Greek word auto meaning self and tropikos meaning nursing or feeding. Thus they mean self-nourishing or self-feeding. Autotrophs are the producers of biotic communities. Most autotrophic organisms manufacture food by utilizing the energy from the sun. The process is known as photosynthesis. Plants, algae, and some bacteria have green pigments called chlorophyll that capture sunlight and thus permits them to perform photosynthesis. Another group of bacteria has the ability to manufacture food using the energy stored in inorganic molecules through the process called chemosynthesis. Compared to photosynthetic autotrophs, chemosynthetic autotrophs have much more limited distribution in the biosphere. However, they play a very important role in certain habitats, such as ocean floor around hydrothermal vents in such a hot mineral-rich environment. Chemosynthetic sulfur bacteria are the sole producers of entire communities of heat-tolerant organisms. The very productive communities thrive near the vents at temperature of around 40 degrees Celsius. The term heterotroph and heterotrophic came from the Greek words heteros meaning other and tropikos meaning nursing. Heterotrophs are the consumers and the decomposers of biotic communities. They may be grouped into two based on size. The large ones are called macro-consumers. The prefix macro literally means large, while the tiny ones are called micro-consumers. Micro means small. Cow, dog, and frogs are examples of macro-consumers. Microbes such as the malarial parasites, paramecium, and non-autotrophic bacteria are examples of decomposers. Heterotrophs may also be grouped into four based on what they feed on. Those that feed on plants such as carabaos and goats are called plant eaters or herbivores. Those that feed on flesh or meat such as dogs and cats are called flesh eaters or carnivores. Those that feed on both plants and meat, such as humans and chickens, are called variety eaters or omnivores. Those that feed on small pieces of leaves and other organic matters, collectively called detritus, are known as detritus feeders or detritivores. Detritivores are abundant on the forest floor, in soil, and in bodies of water. Still another group of heterotrophs consists of those that absorb dissolved organic materials, usually the product of decomposition. These are called saprotrophs. Their mode of feeding is known as saprotrophic nutrition. The most abundant saprotrophs are saprotrophic bacteria. Other examples are mushrooms and other fungi.